So the best scenes in this film are preserved in the 2006 Richard Donner cut. The worst scenes in this film are removed, edited out of the Richard Donner cut. That's essentially how I feel about Superman 2. At the best of times, Superman 2 is one of the most enjoyable comic book adaptations of all time, maybe even the most enjoyable, and it's the scenes featuring the Kryptonian criminals. They are terrifying, they can be humorous, they can be fascinating. It's some of the most frank, candid depictions, unstylized, of freak gods wandering around the earth wherein none of us can cause them any harm whatsoever. And unlike Man of Steel, wherein they're doing this flippy Saiyan acrobatics, they are kind of just lax and contemptuous of everything around them. They find it funny that everyone's trying to hurt them. They can just they can just stand immobile and smirk as machine guns and tanks go after them. That's what I find so gripping, so captivating about the aesthetic of the free criminals assaulting the earth as they do in Superman 2. I think it's absolutely spellbinding, actually. I think it's a bit... it's easy to point out clunky plotting, which is Superman and Lois come back from the Fortress of Solitude, realize that the world's ended, and it's like, oh, well, I gotta go back now, I guess. It's like, gee, whatever. They had to get a movie out. It was going over budget, whatever. They just had to... They couldn't think of anything else, I suppose. I always thought that was clunky and just kind of unsatisfying. Nevertheless, it's Terrence Stamp as Zod, one of the great villains in film history, emerging at a time of other iconic antagonists such as Darth Vader or who was I just thinking of? Khan in Star Trek. This is around the time of the Beast from Krull. No, that's just me. Roy Batty from Blade Runner, the Xenomorph. I mean, that's just more of a monster, not necessarily an antagonist. Schwarzenegger's Terminator. That's 84. The point is, there was so much possibility for villains to come across as too campy or ridiculous, although Terrence Stamp's Zod has outshined Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor in the public imagination, cultural memory of cinematic antagonists, I certainly think. Terrence Stamp's Zod is one of the great creations in the history of the film medium, we could claim. Superman 2, I really like Richard Lester as a director otherwise. Like bed sitting room sort of Richard Lester. All the same, I would have preferred it to have Donner executed this film. I do love the Donner cut. I possibly even the reason I prefer watching the Donner cut if I just randomly felt like watching Superman 2. But if I've watched Superman 1 and then I feel like watching Superman 2, rather than watching scenes be repeated, I just watched the Richard Lester Superman 2. That's where I'm at. In any case, this film is kind of magnificent. In some ways superior to the first film, in some respects inferior. The Donner cut's arguably the best of all of these things. No, the Man of Tomorrow cut's almost inarguably the best of all of these things. Well, in any case, I hope everyone is as well as they have ever or could ever be.